So we've been looking at this card game problem, and the question that you guys had was about part B. Define the class header of the High Heart Game class that uses the card game interface, and define the winning hand method of the High Heart Game class. Okay, so let's do this bit first. Define the class header of the High Heart Game class which uses the card game interface. So public class High Heart Game, which implements the card game interface. And the card game interface demands that we implement this method, public int, what was it called again? Was it winning hand? Winning hand, which takes two parameters. One is an array list of card objects. I'm just going to call that hand 1. And the other one is another array list of card objects, and I'm going to call that h2 for hand 2. Okay? Let's just make sure we're doing this right. Define the class header, done. The winning hand method of the High Heart Game class. You can create other methods if necessary. You can also use any other methods from the card class. Well, we're definitely going to need some methods from the card class, simply because the data we're using are array lists of cards. The winning hand method determines which of the two hands is the superior hand in the game. It returns 1 if the first hand wins, 2 if the second hand wins, 0 if the hands are tied. The value of the hand is determined by adding the values of all the cards in the hand. If the card has a suit of heart, then the value of the card should be doubled. If any of the cards is a heart, and it is also a face card, then the total of the entire hand should be doubled. The player who has the highest total value wins the hand. Okay? So we can look at this example and quickly see that each hand has 5 cards. Okay? So this is how I'm going to solve this problem. I'm going to create some variables, hand 1 total, and let's just set that to 0, and hand 2 total, and just set that to 0. And I'm also going to have an indicator which will tell me if any of the cards is a heart and it's a face card, then the total value of the entire hand is doubled. So if it's a heart and a face card, so Jack, Queen or King. Okay? So I'm going to create Boolean hand 1 has face I don't know, face card equals false, and Boolean hand 2 has face card equals false, just as starter values. Now then, what I'm going to do is I'm going to loop through for int I equals 0 to I is less than 5, because we know that each hand has 5 cards, I++, and I'm now just going to start creating or updating the total for each hand. Now in the card class we have getSuit, getRank and getValue, so I'm going to need to use these methods of the card class as I loop through these card array lists. Okay, so if h1 dot get I dot let's go back to the problem. Value that is a bit. If any of the cards, if the card has a suit of heart, then the value of the card should be doubled. Okay, So we're going to do get suit, and we're going to see if it's a heart. That's what I'm going to do first. So get I dot get suit dot equals heart. Then the value is doubled. So I'm just going to update the total for hand 1. The hand 1 total is equal to h1 dot get I dot get value multiplied by 2. Else, it means it's not a heart. Then we're just going to update the hand 1 total h1 dot get I dot get value. Okay, so that takes care of the first condition. We're just checking if we've got a heart, and if we have, the card that we're working with, we just multiply its value by 2 when we're updating the total. So that's the first thing satisfied. The second condition is a little bit trickier. If any of the cards is a heart and it has a face card of Jack, Queen or King, so the rank is Jack, Queen or King, then we're going to double the entire hand. Okay. So if h1 dot get I dot get suit dot equals heart and h1 dot get I dot get rank dot equals Jack, or h1 dot get I dot get rank dot equals Queen, or h1 dot get I dot get rank dot equals King. So if the card that we're looking at has a suit of heart and it's a Jack or a Queen or a King, then I'm just going to update my H1, my hand 1 Boolean indicator. Okay, so hand 1 has face card equals true. Okay? Now really I'm just going to go through all of this logic again for hand 2. Okay, so I'm going to cheat. I'm going to copy and paste this. And we're just going to do this exactly the same logic for hand 2. And we're nearly there. Does any of this make sense, guys? I kind of hope it does. So that's the for loop working its magic. It's updating the total for each card, and it's also telling us if within the 5 cards of each hand there is a heart that is a Jack, a King or a Queen. That's all that's doing. And then at the end we're going to say if this is outside of the for loop, by the way. The totals have been calculated. So if hand 1 has face card is true, then we're just going to update the hand 1 total. Hand 1 total multiplied by equal by 2. And we're just going to do the same logic for hand 2. So if hand 2 has a face card, we're going to multiply hand 2's total by 2. And finally, we're going to do the return. So if hand 1 total is greater than hand 2 total, we're going to return 1. Else, if hand 2 total is greater than hand 1 total, we're going to return 2. Else, we're going to return 0. And that is my solution to the winning hand problem.